also have a calling from God to preach the word of God. And then it's your twin. They just grew up in a holy household. And you know, these guys have been preaching here ever since I became pastor of this church. So we just thank God for them. I think we're going to go Bryce. Minister Bryce Brunson will go first. And then his brother, Minister Bryan Brunson, will come and follow them. Let's receive him with the hearty amen.
Amen.
Say, preach the word.
Preach the word.
Preach the word.
Preach the word. Yes.
Truly it's a blessing and honor to be in God's house one more time.
Thank you, Lord.
Like the songwriter David said, I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. Give honor to God, who is the head of my life, my very best friend.
All right.
Give an honor to the shepherd of this house, Pastor Williams. You got to praise him. My mother as well, Evangelist Brunson. We got to praise him. I don't know all the things that personally. I just want to say praise the Lord. Now, I'm not the only speaker. I won't be before you very long, but I'd like for you to draw your attention to St. Mark, chapter number 4, verse number 35. Again, that is St. Mark, chapter number 4, verse number 35. We'll read one passage of scripture. Again, that's St. Mark, chapter number 4, verse 35. When you get there, please signify by saying amen.
Amen.
Again, that's St. Mark, chapter 4, verse 35. And it reads, And the same day, when the even was come, he saith unto them, Let us pass over unto the other side. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord.
Amen.
Hallelujah. Today, I'd like to briefly speak upon the topic, the other side.
Amen. All right.
The other side. All of us in the room here on tonight, we've all been through things. We've all had to struggle with the storm in our lives. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your last name is. I don't care where you come from. Everybody in the room has had to struggle with the storm in their lives. And oftentimes, while we are in a storm, we fear for our lives.
Yeah.
Bible lets us know about the power of fear. Bible says that fear has torment.
Yeah.
It is enemy's tactic to make you fear for your life. Yeah. Some of you, when you were kids, used to think that a monster was in your closet under your bed. And this fear is tormenting you.
Yeah.
And to liken that into adulthood, fear is something that you see. It seems like you can never escape it.
Yeah.
Up all night worrying about your life. Up all night worrying about your future. And that's why Jesus said, take no thought for the morrow shall take no thought for stuff. Sufficient day is the evil thereof. See, there is no need to fear when the Lord is on your side.
Yeah.
Here in the past you read from Jesus, he tells his disciples, he says that we need to go to the other side. Before he tells the disciples, the Bible lets us know that Jesus, his fame spread everywhere.
That's right, that's right.
Bible lets us in the 3rd chapter of Mark that Jesus, he went into any place and the man with the crippled hand was there.
Yeah.
Pharisees, the Bible lets us know they wanted to accuse Jesus of doing something wrong.
Yeah.
They kept watching to see if Jesus would heal this man with the crippled hand on the Sabbath day. The Bible says that Jesus, he tells the man with the crippled hand, he said, I want you to stand up where everyone can see you.
Right.
Yeah.
They asked the people this one question. He says, on the Sabbath, should we do good deeds or evil deeds? He says, should we save someone's life or destroy it? The Bible says that when Jesus asked this question, that nobody could say a word. Bible then lets us that Jesus, he became angry as he looked around at the people when they did not answer his question. The Bible lets us that he then was grieved because of the hardness of their hearts.
Yeah.
The Bible says that Jesus, he commands the man to stretch forth his hand. His hand is healed. Bible lets us after this happens, the Pharisees, they leave right away and they start now making plans to kill Jesus.
Yeah.
Bible lets us know, I told you about Jesus' fame, how his fame spread around, and the Bible lets us know that Jesus, he reached a point where he had many disciples, that large crowds would follow him from city to city.
Yeah.
People came from all over just to follow Jesus. They heard what Jesus was doing. People heard how he commanded evil spirits out of people. They heard how he was healing the sick. The Bible lets us know that whenever an evil evil spirit saw Jesus, the spirit would fall down and confess who he was. But Jesus, he would rebuke the spirit and say, no, don't say who I am yet, because the time has not yet been fulfilled. He had that much authority over unclean spirits. He had that much authority over demons. Bible lets us know that after he chooses his 12 apostles, the Pharisees were trying to figure out how a man could have this much authority over demons. Bible lets us know, hallelujah, about those who were possessed, with these demons. Demons to the unbelievers, it was something that was supposed to be feared. Did not sit well with the individual how brave Jesus was when he encountered these demons. Bible lets us know that Jesus, he will look these demons in the face and not fear. Pharisees could not figure out how he could command demons to go right and they will go right. How he command demons to go left and they would have to go left. How he command demons to even fall back and they would have to fall back. Jesus could even tell demons to shut up and they had to shut up. They said, how on earth can a man have this much authority? Bible said some teachers of the law that they went around and said, we know how he's able to command those demons. The Bible said these teachers said he's able to command these demons because he is under the power of one. Jesus, blasphemy. How these teachers are trying to persuade people now that Jesus does not have this type of divine authority from God, that in order for him to be able to command these demons out of people, hallelujah, that he was working for the devil. Hallelujah, and that's why he had that much authority. Hallelujah, saints of God, I read this. Isn't this something on how something that was so holy was called unholy? Hallelujah, don't we see the same thing today? You better be careful who you listen to. These were teachers of the law talking this foolishness. Bible lets us know that Jesus, he hears what these teachers are saying about him. So he told the people to gather around him and he just begins to teach them. Bible says he asked the people a question. He says, how can Satan cast out himself? Jesus says, a kingdom divided against itself, it cannot stand. That if Satan rise up against himself, he hath an end. Jesus, he explains to the people that the teachers of the day were lying. And Bible lets us, Jesus had a lot of people that took it upon themselves to undermine who he was. People who were teachers of the day, trying to make him out to be an adversary or a worker for the devil. But the devil is a liar and the father of all lies. You can only imagine how angry Jesus was that these teachers now, hallelujah, were lying about who he was. Hallelujah, to make it seem like that what he was doing was evil. Teachers who were used by the devil. The Bible lets us know that after Jesus tells the people that Satan cannot cast out himself, that he just begins to teach them some more. Jesus said, I promise you that even the sinful things you do in your life can be forgiven. He said, no matter how terrible they are. He says, but if you speak against the Holy Ghost, he says, you can never be forgiven. He says that sin will always be against you. The Bible said that Jesus, he said this because the teachers were saying that he indeed had an evil spirit living within him. Hallelujah. And Jesus said that they would reap what they had sown. The Bible said that Jesus then travels and he teaches beside Lake Galilee. Bible says, I told you how Jesus had all these people who would follow him from city to city. How the Bible said that as he sat along the shore, how this crowd was so big that Jesus has to teach in the boat in the water while the people stood on shore and listened. Bible said that after Jesus taught the people, he told his disciples this one thing. He said, let us go unto the other side of this lake. What you must realize, saints of God, is that a storm was coming. Hallelujah. The disciples did not know that the storm was coming, but Jesus knew what was coming, and he knew what was on the other side of the storm. And as they traveled across the lake, the Bible lets us know that the storm came, and the disciples thought that they were surely going to die, but Jesus was on this boat sleeping. Bible says the disciples, they looked at him and were confused and said, don't you care if we drown? Bible says that Jesus got up and rebuked the storm, and it was calm. His disciples feared and were shocked on how much authority he had. Hallelujah. When I read this, I firmly believe, saints of to show his disciples who he was. That no matter what everybody else is saying about me, that no matter what these teachers are lying about me on, that when you follow me, you can get through any storm. That when you follow me, you can get out of any valley and make it to the other side. That I have that much authority. And saints of God, how many in the room here on tonight have made it over trouble and hot water? How many have made it out of situations where you thought that you would surely die? But I hear Jesus saying, fear not, little flock. How many have lived a little while, have come to find out in this life that you're going to cry some tears of sorrow? That in this life, you're going to find yourself in situations that's going to try to make you doubt that you're going to make it out of this. Encounter some demons that will make you try to fear. But Jesus knew this. It was Jesus who said, be of good cheer. You're going to have tribulation in this world, but don't be afraid. He said, be of good cheer. He said, for I have overcome the world. And if I live in you, you can overcome this storm. That if I live in you, you can rebuke demons and tread over serpents, tread over scorpions, and make it to the other side. Open up your mouth and give God a praise in this house, and thank God for the other side. I'm gonna make it to the other side. I serve a master who can command the storm and the seas. I serve a master who's a bridge over troubled waters. I serve a master who told me that because he overcame, that I can overcome. He overcame the storm so that you can overcome the storm. He overcame the winds so that you can overcome the winds. They said, behold, what manner of man is this, that even the winds and the seas, they've got to obey him. Give God a praise. If God be for you, who can be against you? I'm going to make it. Open up your mouth and give God a praise. Hallelujah. It wasn't easy. You're going to make it though. Just hang on in there. Hang on. It's not going to be easy. You may have to cry sometimes. You have to get on your knees and ask God for help. You have to fast and pray in your valley. But eventually, after you suffer a while, you see the Lord, he brought you out. He brought you to the other side. When it looked like it was all over, all the tears I had to cry, all the pain I had to endure, all the tragedy I was subjected to. But I read the word, and his word told me that weeping may endure for the night, but joy shall come in the morning. I may have to cry, but he promised me that all things work together for the good. I might have tears in my eyes, but I'm thanking God that there's another side past these tears. There's another side past this storm. There's another side past this tragedy. Hang on in there. You're going to make it. Make it now. He said, let us go to the other side. I thank God for the other side. On the other side, there's more power. On the other side, there's more anointing. On the other side is my peace of mind. Hang on in there. Hallelujah. Open up your mouth and give God a praise. And say, I'm going to make it. I don't know how I'm going to make it, but I'm going to make it to the other side. Come on, open up your mouth and thank God for another side. Open up your mouth. Give God your best praise.
And give God some praise in this place. How many trying to make it to the other side? Come on, put your hands together. Give God some praise for everybody. Praise for everybody. Testimony, everybody. I thank God first and foremost for being here on tonight. I want to thank God for being saved. I like to give honor to God, who is the head of my life. I would like to give honor to the shepherd of this wonderful house, Pastor Williams. Can we give God praise? Amen. I also would like to give honor to the woman that stands beside him, First Williams. Amen. I also like to give honor to my pastor in his absence from Clinton Street, Greater Bethlehem Temple Church. I thank God for him, and I like to honor my family that came out to support me tonight, especially to my beautiful wife. I thank God for her, and I also thank God for my mother, Evangelist Georgia Brunson. Thank God for her. And all the saints got all the ministers in their respective places, and I just want to say praise the Lord. Saints, if you have your Bibles, please turn real quickly to the book of Matthew, chapter number 8. Verse number 25. Again, that's the book of Matthew, chapter 8, verse number 25. And this is going to be a continuation of what Minister Brunson spoke on. Again, that's the book of Matthew, chapter 8, verse number 25. And saints of God, when you get there, please signify by saying amen. Amen. And it reads, his disciples came to him and awoke him, saying, Lord, save us, we perish. And he saith unto them, why are ye fearful, O ye little faith? Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. And the verse I'd like to focus on tonight is verse number 26. And it reads again, and he saith unto them, why are ye fearful, O ye little faith? Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. Saints of God, this leads me to the topic I'd like to speak upon tonight. And my topic is simply titled, The Other Side. The Other Side. Brothers and sisters, we simply must come to the understanding on tonight that with our walk with God, that we're going to go through some difficult storms. As Christians, we simply must come to the understanding that we're all going to experience some contrary winds. People of God, these winds that we face can be so powerful that it can cause our very faith to be tried. These winds that we face can be so boisterous that it can cause us to be fearful and afraid. But brothers and sisters, in spite of the storms that we go through, in spite of how hard the winds may blow, you have to come to the understanding on tonight that you cannot be moved. Because us in the body of Christ, we're meant to be like trees that have been planted by the rivers of water. That's why David says in the book of Psalms chapter 62, he says, he is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be greatly moved. So since you know that God is your rock, since you know that God is your salvation, since you know that God is your defense, we can all come to the conclusion here on tonight that God will take care of you. Brothers and sisters, here in the book of Matthew chapter 8 begins to tell us here on tonight about how Jesus now, he enters onto a ship. The Bible tells us here in this particular chapter that after Jesus enters onto the ship, the Bible says that his disciples followed him. Now, keep in mind, brothers and sisters, that these disciples that have followed Jesus on the ship were the same disciples that have witnessed the miracles that Jesus performed within people's lives. These disciples that have followed Jesus on the ship were the same ones that witnessed Jesus heal the sick. These disciples, they witnessed Jesus touch the blind. These disciples witnessed the power that lied in his hands. The Bible tells us in verse number 24 that while they were all on the ship, the Bible tells us that a great tempest had arose. Not only, people of God, did a great tempest arise, but the Bible tells us here that the ship now began to fill with water. Because the ship began to fill with water, the Bible tells us that the disciples became overwhelmed with fear. People of God, the reason why these disciples were overwhelmed with fear was because the disciples paid attention to how things were looking around them. People of God, you have to come to the understanding on tonight that whenever you go through a difficult storm in your life, one thing that you can do is pay attention to how things are looking around you. Whenever people of God, you're going through a difficult storm in your life, you can't pay attention to how the winds are blowing. You can't pay attention to how the ship is rocking back and forth, because you have to understand that if you pay attention to these things, that's when fear and anxiety will kick in. People of God, you have to come to the understanding real quickly that fear is not of God. Fear is a tactic. Fear is a method that the devil loves to use against God's people. That's why Paul says in the book of 2 Timothy, he said, for God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Because if you have a sound mind, you can overcome any trial. If you got a sound mind, you can overcome any tribulation. If you got a sound mind, you can get through any valley. I don't know what you're going through tonight, but I submit to you right now that whatever you're going through, you better keep your sound mind. If you believe that in this place, just clap your hands and give God a praise and just shout hallelujah. Come on, open up your mouth and shout hallelujah. Because you got to keep your sound mind. Brothers and sisters, you have to come to the understanding on tonight that as you mature in Christ, as you go higher in Him, as you go deeper in God, the winds will become more rowdy. The storms will become more difficult. But even though the winds may blow, even though the storms may become rowdy, the one thing that you can't do, child of God, is lose focus in the storm. Because what the devil loves to do is the devil has a powerful way of trying to make you pay attention to how things are looking around you. What the devil likes to do is try to cause you to pay attention to how the ship is rocking back and forth. He'll try to cause you to pay attention to how the winds are blowing. And the reason, people of God, while the devil wants you to pay attention to this, is because the devil wants you to doubt in God. And he understands that if he can cause you to doubt, he can cause you to open up your mouth in the midst of your storm and say, Lord, if you're going to bring me out, how can you do it? The devil's going to try to cause you to open up your mouth and say, Lord, can you bring me out of this? Not only, people of God, will the devil attack your mind, but the devil has a powerful way of attacking our faith. That's why it's important for you, child of God, to have strong faith in God. No matter how things are looking in your life, you got to learn how to preach to yourself. That's why I must keep the faith. No matter what the doctors say, you got to preach to yourself and say, I must keep my faith. No matter how my finances are looking, you got to learn how to preach to yourself and say, I must keep the faith. Because if you have strong faith in God, you can press past any storm. You can press past any valley. You can press past any affliction. Because if you got strong faith, you're letting God understand that in spite of how it seems, I know that you're all things God. If you got some faith in this place, just open up your mouth and clap your hands and let God feel you. And just shout, I will keep my faith. Just shout it one more time. Just say, I will keep my faith. Going back to the scriptures, the Bible tells us here on tonight that after the ship now began to fill with water, the Bible tells us here that the disciples became overwhelmed with fear. And because of their fear, the Bible tells us here that the disciples ran up to Jesus. They said, Lord, save us, we perish. And after they said this, the Bible lets us know that Jesus looks at them and asks them a question. He says, why are you fearful? He says, oh, ye of little faith. See, what you have to understand, child of God, is that fear is something that will cause anybody to react in a different way. Because fear is so powerful that it can cause you to doubt in the power of God. Fear is so powerful that it can paralyze you from going through your storm. It can paralyze you from going through the valley. Fear is so powerful that it can cause you to want to give up and throw in the towel. But child of God, I submit to you on tonight that whenever you start to feel fear, you've got to remind yourself that God said, He said, fear thou not. He said, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I don't care what you're going through. You gotta learn how to tell yourself that I won't fear. In the midst of my trials, I won't fear. With sickness in my body, I won't fear. While you're going through your valley, I won't fear. That's why David said, he said, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. Somebody open up your mouth real quickly and just shout, I won't fear. I won't fear. See, people of God, these disciples on the ship, they were so focused on how things were looking. That's why I believe on tonight that Jesus asked the question. He says, why are you fearful? See, these disciples were so fixated on how the winds were blowing that they forgot who was on the ship right with them. These disciples were so focused on the winds that they forgot they were on the ship with the King of Kings. They were focused on the ship and they forgot that they were on the ship with the resurrection and the life. And people of God, when you're going through your storms, when you're going through your valleys, don't you ever forget who's right there with you. Because you serve a God that's the King of Kings. You serve a God that's the Lord of Lords. You serve a God that's Jehovah Jireh. That's Jehovah Nissi. So since you know the type of God that you serve, you must hang on to your anchor. And what is your anchor? The Bible tells us here in the book of Hebrews, it says, which hope we have as an anchor, both sure and steadfast. People of God, when you think about an anchor in the natural, anchor is a piece of metal that weighs over 800 pounds. And an anchor's responsibility is to keep the ship from drifting away. And if anybody wants to walk on over and pull up the anchor, the ship will be moved. The ship will be displaced. And God's telling somebody in the building on tonight that no matter what storm you're going through, don't pull up your anchor. Abide in the ship. Abide in God. Because you got to understand that the anchor that we possess is not a piece of metal that weighs over 800 pounds. The anchor that we possess is not located on the side of a ship. But the anchor that we got is located in the highest heavens. And the anchor is God. The winds may blow. But whatever you do, just hang on to your anchor. And remind yourself that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. The ship may rock, the winds may blow, but hang on to your anchor and remind yourself that all things are working together for my good. The ship may rock, the winds may blow, but with tears in your eyes, remind yourself that weeping may endure for a night, but joy shall come in the morning. If you got some joy, just open up your mouth and lift up the head and give God a praise. Give God a shout. Give God the victory. Because you're more than a conqueror. More than a conqueror. Gotta come to the understanding on tonight that with your walk with God, you're gonna go through so many storms. I've learned with my short walk, you go through storms every day. Storms all the time. But the one thing you can't do is allow the enemy to disrupt your faith. It's what the devil specializes in. It's going to attack your mind and attack your faith. It's trying to make you cause you to doubt in God. These disciples that were on the ship, keep in mind these disciples, they witnessed all the miracles that Jesus performed within people's lives. They witnessed him heal the sick. They witnessed him touch the blind. But the moment they saw that storm, they forgot everything. And that's what you have to understand tonight. You can't forget who's right there with you. God didn't leave you in the storm. He didn't forsake you. He's right there with you.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
Child of God, I don't know what you're going through. But make sure you keep the faith.
Yeah.
And get over on the other side. God bless you.